hi to whoever comes on. Sorry I'm late. I was on Dylan's live chat. We was doing a Build-A-Story and it was so interesting I couldn't leave. I was part of the story builder and it was just impossible to get off of it, so I'm very sorry about that. But we're going to go on ahead and get this going. I thought about it hard, and I know exactly what I'm going to do with this painting to make it really look good, to make it pop, to make the mountain look bigger. So yesterday Mitchell had said that the mountain needed to be taller, but the thing is, no matter how tall I would make the mountain, it would still look short. So the only other way around it is to just outright scale things so that you can actually see what kind of a giant mountain it is. You just have to scale everything. So I thought, what could I add to it? Because I was just going to put it up on my wall and let it be. And as happy as I am with it, it's still kind of empty. So currently I am in the process of making something similar to kind of a gravel but a sand. Wanting it to be gray, but I'm also wanting to look like dirt. So kind of like a clay like dirt. I guess I should have started with something else because I've got in mind what I'm going to be working with. I don't think that's even going to be enough for what I'm looking for anyway, but possibly. Anyway, I don't want to get ahead of the cart. I knew that there was something else that I needed. So I'm going to be using burnt umber. Hey Don. So I am finishing up this painting. I wanted to just let it be, but it was too empty. So I'm finishing it out. I am like a precision painter. I can't be satisfied with one little thing. It's kind of bad on my part because it can pose somewhat of a problem for me, but okay, I am going to use just a little bit of black. more black. So here we've got our little house. It is out a little bit from the mountain, but you can tell by how small it is that the mountain is quite large. It's a big mountain. It's a big mountain. So that kind of helps to scale it a little bit and give you an idea of just how big that mountain is, how vast it is. I've got it viewing from the screen side this time, so that's the reason why it's not focused in closer. You can't focus it in from the screen. But this way I can watch and see what the Streamlab is doing instead of it being on the lens side. You can't tell anything from the other side. So if you're not getting the details, it's only because I don't have it zoomed in, unfortunately. Alright. So now I am going to take that I had made, the color, and I am going to be making a walk. It's a path. I reckon this is how a lot of people wouldn't mind living off the grid, so to speak. So there we've got our path. Now I'm going to put in a pine tree by the house. I better use deep green, not sap green. Hey, Julian. Oh, that's okay, Julian. I'm sorry. I had been basically busy today, and then I got on Dylan's, and I couldn't give a warning ahead of time because we were still working on building that story, and so I didn't get the warning out. So I'm very sorry about that. I know I need to be able to put warnings out. So to let you know what I am doing here, Mitchell had mentioned that the mountain needed to be taller, but the thing is, no matter how tall I would make that mountain, it would just, it would still look short. So I am scaling things to make the mountain look huge. So this is like a log cabin, and this is a path leading up to that cabin. And of course, as you can tell, there's trees at the base of the mountain. So the house is somewhat of a ways from the mountain, but at the same time, it's far enough back so you can see that mountain is way in the distance and it's huge. And currently I am in the process of putting in a pine tree beside the house so that you can see that the house is somewhat further out from the mountain, but to also give you an idea of just how tall the tree is, and that you can see that it's a very old pine tree, so it's taller than the house. I'm using deep green so that it's darker than the sap green that I had used for the ground. Hello, Ridge Runner. Oh, well, that was very good of him. I'm glad of that. Yeah, that was such a very good story. Seriously, that ended up being incredible. Quite frankly, I do hope that somebody can add on to what Kyra can do, because I wouldn't know where to begin for her with everything that's piling up on her. I would not know where to begin. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't know. It's one of those situations like, what? Okay, now I am going to put a dead tree up close so that an even bigger idea of just how far back everything is. I should have pulled out another brush. I was thinking this was all I needed. Yeah, I hope that you don't regret coming here, Ridge Runner. I'm not as exciting as Terry is. Terry, she's got excitement in her blood. Me, I'm more of a serious person. I don't get too over excited. Hello, Dreamweaver. Yeah, me too. I'm very anxious to see it. I'm very anxious to see where and all it goes. Yeah, me too. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Dreamweaver. Yeah, I saw that. Well, that's good to know. I hope I don't put you to sleep. That's just the kind of person I am. I'm not an overexcited person. Unfortunately. Never was. You ought to see me on Christmas. Mom used to say, boy, if you get any more excited, and then I always told her, well, if I get more excited, I'll fall through the floor. And so I'm just, I'm not a very excitable person. But I do my best. I am sorry though that I do not have this zoomed in. I have got it on the screen side so I can see what this is doing. Because if I do it on the lens side, then I don't know if the phone freezes up or what. But at least this side, I can watch what's going on with the Streamlab. So therefore, I can't actually zoom it in for yins to see everything. It's best I can do though. I need to keep an eye on my phone. Streamlab is bad for causing the phone to overheat. Not very good. And then I have to wait for the phone to cool off and start the stream again. Oh, well, cool. Nice. I love team viewers. I do. Mark and Nikki are husband and wife too. I love team I love husband and wife viewing teams. It is so cool. It's sweet and special. Be able to share at the same time. Oh, well, I do it at 4 Pacific, Julian. And I did decide not to stream on Sundays and Wednesdays for those who goes to church. Other than that, I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But yeah, painting, it is relaxing. I love to paint because it's relaxing. I love watching it. I had always took inspiration from Bob Ross, and I had wanted to paint for years. Seriously, just years. And I didn't pick up painting until 2015 or late 2014. It might have been in late 2014. Anyway, I love painting. And it's funny, like, I do my nails and it never fails. I end up with painter's hands. Messes up my pretty nails, and then, but hey, comes along with the territory. Yeah, we had a whole lot of them here for a while. It ended up being a mess. Someone was running into major trouble, and so the drama was following us, coming in on us, and yeah, it was awful. I ended up losing one that would have been a potential permanent with me, and they said, I'm out of here. I don't hang on streams like this. And that was troublesome because I'm always looking for new friends, new regulars. It's always great to have regulars. And when there's drama, it's just, it's sad because not everybody wants drama. They want to know that wherever they go, it's peaceful. I'm like that. I prefer peace. And so, yeah. But everything seems to be a lot better now. Whatever the issue was, it's been resolved. We don't have trouble anymore, and all is good. I'm happy with her. She does trivia over various topics, tells stories, plays games, etc. during each streams, and sometimes just chats with us. Sorry. We tried to avoid the high drama. Drama is not fun, but to watch, I agree. This is relaxing. When you finish the painting, you should show off your other paint. Of course, most definitely. I'll do that, Julian. I sure will. Yeah, I will show off my paintings to all of you when this is done. Yeah, I think this tree has got enough branches. It's a dead tree, so a lot of branches has fallen off, and because this is a log cabin back here that you all can't see, they have gathered up the twigs and logs that's fallen off this old tree. So it has become a great resource for a fireplace. Yeah, I think that tree's good enough. What do you all think? Bob always puts a crooked limb in there somewhere. We gotta have a crooked limb somewhere or another. I'll put a crooked limb on this. There we go. And a crooked limb on there. Happy little trees, even if they're dead. Happy Happy little trees. Happy little trees. Even dead ones. Yep, we got happy little trees. Not too many of them actually. Yeah, I'll pull one up here. Reach for the sky. One time it was a very beautiful tree. Not no more. Poor thing. Just couldn't make it with all the cold. I'll figure out more here. I wasn't exactly anticipating to make anything else on that side. Just that dead tree. I might actually paint a few spots on it with leaves. Alright, now no, actually I think I was going to use this one. Alright, we are going to have some colorful flowers in this. My chance to truly use these purples that I never use. Neither one of us likes stressful situations, and we like peaceful places to enjoy getting together with other people who like the same. Yeah, I agree with you there, Dream Reaver, absolutely. I managed to join Terry, I would say I was probably on her for about 10 minutes, but I was trying to pay attention to Dylan as well and keep up with the story, so I had to tell Terry bye, regrettably. I've tried doing Grandpa and exploring the CF before. I'm not that talented. But I hate to miss anybody's stream, and I wanted so very much to be there with Terry because she's just starting out. Dylan's been at it for quite some time, but I couldn't keep up with the story and Terry too. But yeah, I totally agree with going in places that's relaxing, and I want my streams to be a safe place. I want people to feel like they are safe coming here. That's my goal. When all that was happening, it was such a mess. I ended up losing quite a few viewers because of it, and it wasn't anything of my doing, but they just didn't want to be a part in that. And that was very hurtful because I want people to feel safe here. This is one of those places that people should be able to just come and be happy to meet new folks and have fun and feel safe, and that is my biggest goal. I don't even know what kind of shrub this is. It's just colorful though. Gotta have a little bit of color on here. Not all greens and browns. Is your dad a good painter? Or he just likes to do it as a hobby? I mean, everybody's paintings are good in their own way because, like, everybody's got their own style of painting. Mine, well, it's not the best work, but I enjoy doing it. Wow. Would there ever be any way of you sharing any of his work? Do you do a channel or anything? Could you show his work off? Because I love seeing people's work. Oh yeah, dog duty. Yeah, same to you. Oh wow. My mother lives in North Carolina. And you've got a channel, that's what I'm seeing here, that Terry came to you in your stream. So I'm assuming that you've showed his work off. Yeah, they are shout outs. No, unfortunately, I'm not writing them down when I paint. But I've got to definitely remember those. Trilight Warrior had subscribed to me also. I might just go back through the stream and write everybody's name down after this is over. Oh, well, cool. Thank you so much. Um, maybe, like, that would be really nice if you would show his work off, if he doesn't care. Because I love seeing other people's work. I absolutely love seeing other people's work. I am a big fan of paintings. Just absolutely. You know what? I'm not happy with the dead tree. I am adding life to it. This tree is going to have some life. First, though, I am going to do some work with this bark. The bark is just wrong. It is so wrong. Well, he was on Terry's. Ah. Oh, yeah. Why, has she got storm or something? Because we don't have any storm here. Her power has been going off a lot. Hey, Luke. Buddy, I want to thank you so much for referring these people over here. I appreciate it. Yeah, me too. This is awesome. This is terrific. Shows I've got 5 viewing. Well, that's better than nothing, for sure. I always appreciate it. Always, always, always. It always seems to be just somewhat slow on my paintings because, like, people don't really want to watch all that, but alright, we're going to add some life to this tree. I can't stand it being dead. I want to thin that out a little bit though. I don't want it to be heavy leaf. It's looking great, by the way. Thank you, Luke. Enjoy watching the process of the picture coming together. Now, I wish I was a good artist. Painting would take up all my life. It had almost consumed me at one time. I was painting like one every day, and I did like for a couple months just one painting after another. The ideas was rolling off my mind, and I was zipping through it. And I still love to paint, but I have painted so many that I've kind of run out of ideas, so to speak. And I had to seriously think this one through, because it was just going to be this mountain in an open field. And I was thinking so hard last night, what could I do with it that would make it worthy to put up on my wall? Because I've got I've got the wall that I put my good paintings on, and then the ones that I don't like is on the floor behind the door. And I'm not wanting this to be added to the pile that's behind the door. I'm wanting this to be up on my wall, what I call my display wall. Overall, I think I have painted maybe a total of like possibly 30 paintings, maybe even more than that. I have painted some portraits, and I've given my kids some of my work, and I don't even know how many I've got here inside the house. DW Warrior Queen, okay. And that is the link to. Thank you, Julian. I appreciate that. That will make a difference. I'll be able to see that. Alright, now let's just kind of make it an overall. Still have to make it thin here, because we don't want it to be a heavy leaf tree, but we don't want it to be too awful bare. I had to learn a long time ago to tone my trees down, because I would really seriously heavy leaf them, and it just never did look good. Not every tree has got a whole mess of leaves. I've given you a thumbs up and ring your bell from this channel as well. Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate. Thank you. I hope I don't ever disappoint you, seriously. I can be quite boring at times, and I try not to be, so. Boy, I tell you, I am loving this tree. I hope I don't turn around and screw it up. Just read your about page on the Warrior Queen channel. That is so amazing. That is your Native American name. Also saw that your great grandmother was 5 times granddaughter of a Mohawk chief. Oh, cool. Cool. Oh, wow. I love Native American stories. I have got this one friend. He is a he's Navajo. He's a Navajo. His name is Joe Pretty Boy. They call him Joey. Joey Pretty Boy. He's Navajo. I love that man to pieces. He's awesome. Haven't seen him for a good while though. He's been uploading, but he hasn't commented on any of my videos for a while. They just recently had a baby. I'd say by now that baby is about a year old. And it's really cool. His videos, he does it on his native land, on his ancestors' land, on the reservation, and it's really fascinating. I love it. But the name of his clan is Pretty Boy, and his username is Pretty Boy Clan. But that's the name of his tribe. His particular family is Pretty Boy. We'll kind of connect the dots up here. We don't want to overdo it, but just kind of like that. There we go. And just kind of fill in the gap without overdoing it. I'll get with you here in a moment. I'm not wanting to lose concentration on this tree. Mom used to tell me I look like her grandmother. She always said you could tell she was a Mohawk. I took that to be a compliment. Hello, Doodle. Thank you. I like the tree with more life to it, better than it was dead. I agree. I absolutely agree. I couldn't stand the thought of it being a dead tree. I just couldn't. It had to have life. Just a little bit more down here. There we go. Yeah. That is one fine looking tree. One fine looking tree. Okay, so because you can't see where I wasn't able to pull in the focus, I'm going to show you here. I've done my best to scale this so that the mountain would look huge and in the distance. So what we've got here, let me make sure to, what we've got is a little cabin, which actually it's a full-size house, but it's made like a cabin. So we've got a full-size house with a pine tree. That tree is extremely old, so that's the reason why it's bigger than the house. And then of course you've got the tree that's up here in the foreground, and likewise the beautiful lavender bush. This is a trail that goes up to the cabin. So you could tell the cabin is up a little ways from the mountain. This, it's along the base of the mountain, are trees. They're just a whole forest that's in front of the mountain. So the house is away from the mountain, but at the same time it's still far enough back, and therefore you can see the mountain is quite huge. So basically I just had to scale some things so that you could tell the mountain was a big mountain. Thank you, Doodle. You would? I know there's a lot of people that would love to live off the grid, and this would definitely be off the grid. I mean, this would be about as far off the grid as you could go. Nice and quiet. I mean, you can tell there is no vehicle. Have to walk plumb out. Who knows where they go? I love that path. I made that path perfect. Love that path. Anyway, I'd already titled it. And I've got the title here on the back. It's The Mountain. So that's what I titled it, The Mountain. I am not satisfied with that house yet, though. I gotta, ever being the perfectionist, I've got to make that wall level. I already know better than to even fool with it. So there we have it. Because I'm such a perfectionist. Turn around and mess it up. But anyway, I guess you could say that's the porch. I'm one of those, I can't leave well enough alone. I really can't. Such a bad thing of mine. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Actually, it's horrible. Oh, I hate it when I do this. Not a very good carpenter if you don't have everything level on your home. Not a good carpenter. There. That's better. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone before I screw it up. Alright, I'm leaving that. I'm leaving it. Don't touch. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Julian. Thank you, Doodle. Honestly, that's pretty well all that I thought that I would add to it. Pretty well. I didn't think of anything else. I mean, everything is pretty well like natural looking here, and then you look at the house and it's cartoonish. Man, I've got some problems. I'm going to kind of lighten up this pine tree a little bit here. I'm adding sap green. Now I'm going to add light green. That way there's just a little bit of light on it. I love the texture that it brings when you add lighting to greenery. And when you add like light green to it, it really adds depth and light, and it's amazing what it does. And the three colors that I love using the most when I am making tree and brush is deep green, sap green, and light green. And it just seriously it brings more life to the greenery. Don't touch it anymore. Okay. Yeah, that's how that goes sometimes, Ridge Runner. add just a little bit more sap green within the light green. That way we've got a little bit more depth. Yeah, look at that now. And that's done with that. I'm not touching the house and the pine tree in the back. No more. That's done. I'm satisfied with that. Yep, it has. It really has. I couldn't let the tree stay dead. I just couldn't do it. There was no way. I could not let it stay dead. Let's see here. I want to let that tree to continue drying, and then I'm going to add a little bit of sap green and just kind of tap it on. That way there's a little bit of balance on that. But I got thinking, brighten it up just a little more. Find it. Gotta find it, gotta find it. It would be so nice to have a, yeah, there it is, Naples yellow. Those flowers have got to be able to be pollinated. So we are going to add some yellow centers. Oh yeah, that really adds some good to it. Look at that. Can you make that out? You see all the yellow there? That really adds a little bit of good detail. Okay. Hey, Grandpa. I could try, Doodle. I could try. But I only do facial portraits. I do not do full body portraits. And they really don't look all that awesome. They end up kind of looking cartoonish, but I do my best to add detail. I have painted my husband. I painted him like when he was 5 years old, but I made him look more like he was 10 years old. I painted my in-laws, and I painted him in a black and white photo, which I'm going to be showing here in a little bit. So yeah, I do paint portraits. Oh, and I know I said that this was going to be it, but the house has got to have a door. So I'm just painting a door. Ain't no biggie. And just a door. I mean, they gotta get in. There we go. It's actually a skylight underneath, over top of the door there. That's a skylight. Alright, I think the tree is pretty well dry enough so I can add the dimension to it. And that will pretty well be it. So I'm going to add some sap green to the tree. Don't ever want to overdo it on the sap green, or you can end up with a very heavy tree. So as you can see, it kind of adds more depth to it. You've got like the deep green kind of, you see the leaves that's in the back, and then like the sap green, you can see them that's a little closer to you. And then you add your light green, and that adds the, like the ones that is being lit up by the lighting. And that you go very lightly with. You do? You like trees, Grandpa? How's Luna? So now we've actually got texture in the tree. That's the best time, when they sleep. At least you're not having to worry about them being underfoot. Both of mine are asleep right now. They love being in here with me, and they are zoned. All right. Still kind of a bare field. I don't know how in the world Bob Ross is able to pull it off, but he's always got so much going on in his pictures. Always. Yeah, that's all it needed. It needed brought to life. That's what it needed. Trying to think if there's anything else that this picture needs. Still kind of looks empty. Let's see. Wouldn't do any good to paint any trees up here because these knolls are way behind this mountain. Can't even see the trees. Let's see here. I'll use this little brush. Go back to the dark green, deep green. There's a tree back here. It's close to, but it's still a little further back. Can't see the tree trunk because the bush is right in front of it. We'll add a little bit of sap to add dimension. And now a little bit of light green. Now what I'm doing is I'm not even rinsing my brush, I'm blending the greens. just a touch more sap green to tone that light green down. There we go. So I'll show you a little better here what I did. As you can tell, like, you just a little deeper in behind the brush out that way where you've got a tree. And it's a good sized tree, but it's further back in the field, so once again it's been scaled. I'm adding deep green so that there's a little bit more depth to it. Now a little bit more light green. That's what we need right there. That's it. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I don't need to correct that any. That is nice. I like that. Okay, I'm going to put like a smaller purple bush right about in here. That way it doesn't look like this is the lone bush. I'm going to put it right about here, and that is going to be it. So let me get some purple here. And I've got to scale this. Add my lilac. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna let that be it. I seriously do not know what else I can add to this without making it look too busy or too rough. I think that will pretty well do that. So my question to you all is, do you think I done a good job making that mountain look huge? Now you gotta keep in mind these are trees at the base. It's a forest at the base of the mountain. So you all think I done a good job making that mountain look huge compared to? Hey Terry. Thank you, Dream Warrior. Well, you missed the most boring part, Terry. I'm ready now to just sit and talk. Thank you very much, Ridge Runner. I appreciate it. Yep. Anyway, the way it happened was like last night I finished with the field and it was just this mountain. And Mitchell had said I needed to make the mountain taller. So my thought was I needed to paint objects in the field and kind of scale that so that the mountain would end up looking bigger without actually fussing with the mountain anymore. I think everybody was just saying good night to Ridge Runner and to at least Ridge Runner. I don't know if Dream Warrior is leaving or not, but I definitely know Ridge Runner is. Thank you, Terry. Anyway, Julian had mentioned for me to show off all of my paintings, so alright. I'll have to definitely wait for when they come in the next time so I can show off. Because I was going to show that off to them. I guess it took too long for me to do the details, but I was going to show my other paintings off. Have you got to see my other paintings yet, Terry? I don't know if I got to show them to you. I'm pretty sure that Grandpa's got to see them. I do think that deserves to go on my display wall. I do. So anyway, how did your live stream come out? I understand that you had a blackout at the end. Oh, has it? I wish I'd been on there when Twilight Warrior supposedly saw that shadow in your house. I had just gotten on as he was saying that he saw that. You too, Julian. You have a good night. But you had a good live stream, huh? Did you happen to notice how many hours it gave you? That's always the most interesting part, to see how many hours you get in view time. Like, you can run an hour long and end up with 5 hours. I don't know how in the world they calculate that. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me either. Terry, honey, I tell you, ever since I've done that one Lights Out, I love it when people gets blessed on their channels. I love it. But anyway, there has been some crazy happenings since I've done that one Lights Out video. I mean, of course, you saw that the flashlight was acting up, and what we thought could have been the orbs or the dust bunnies, which it probably was just dust bunnies. Oh, that's awesome. It's always great meeting new people. And I greatly appreciate Luke sending your folks over this way. They are sweethearts. A lot of weird things happening. Let me share you this about my local dollar store. It's a family dollar store, and I had gone to I think hubby needed some soda or something. Anyway, I had gone there for something, and the manager came up to the cashier, and she said, "You called for me?" And the woman said, "No," because she didn't. She didn't yell for the manager. And the manager said, "I thought I heard you call for me." She said, "No, I didn't call for you." And I said, weird things happening. And then the cashier proceeded to tell me that a few days ago, and now, you know, it's windy here in Texas. I mean, it is windy. It's just as windy here in Waco as it is in the Houston area. It's windy. But this particular day, she said the wind really wasn't blowing, and the door just swung wide open and then shut. Nobody had gone out or nothing. It just opened and shut on its own. And they've got the door set up so that it's partially open anyway, but the wind would have to blow extremely hard to even open it. And she said the wind really wasn't even blowing, and it done that. So there's even weird things going on at that Family Dollar. Yeah, I saw what he said, that he had you playing on the big TV, and what was it? He went wowza or something like that about you. I don't remember what the word was that he said. Hubba hubba, that's what he said. You said hubba hubba, wasn't it, Grandpa? Oh, I love my grandpa. Did I tell you I adopted him? He's my grandpa. Yeah, hubba hubba, that's what it was. I told Grandpa he was sexy. He said no one's ever said I was sexy. And I said, well, you are sexy. So, but yeah, I adopted him as my grandpa because I don't have any more grandpas except for the one that my grandma married last year, or back in 17. She married him in 17. Her third husband, and she's in her 80s. But anyway, I decided to adopt Grandpa. So he's my grandpa now. Love you to pieces, old man. Oh, did you? Well, you are now. Greatly adored. I always love it when you join in. But yeah, crazy things. And seems like I've had some happenings here as well, but I'm not recalling anything. The last thing that I do remember is feeling that there was a presence on the bed with me, like something, like a weight on the bed, but seems like there's been some other things as well. He scared you. I'm just not remembering what else has happened here, but I know it has. But I tell you what, while I was on Dylan's live stream tonight, I thought something literally flew in his room. But then I got thinking maybe it was Savannah throwing something into the room without wanting to disturb him or something. So yeah, really, really weird things, The most odd thing was I went to the Family Dollar the day after I'd done that video, and that's when that woman shared that with me. Like, wow. But yeah, I wish I'd caught that on your live stream. I wonder if I would have seen it. Oh, did you? Yeah, you done that. I saw you said a chat outside or at the park or something like that. I haven't got to look at anything yet today. Me and hubby had been out all day long, and then I'd done groceries, and so I haven't got to. I was on Ridges, okay. Yeah, they said that you showed up on their stream. I love going in on people's live streams just as much as I enjoyed giving them. Now, there's some people's live streams that I just can't get hooked up into because, like, I don't know, I guess I come in and I'm like way out in left field. I don't know where they're at or nothing, and so finally I just say bye. But then there's others that I can join right in even if I'm in the middle of it. Oh, some people's able to do that though. Some people can do that. That's like I can go into Grandpa's stream and he had already been running for a half hour, and I can get right into it. Same thing with Dylan's, and same thing with yours. Now I was trying to listen to you and Dylan at the same time. Dylan was doing a build-a-story, and I was part of the storyteller on it, and so I was trying to listen to his part of the story so I could add to it and listen to you at the same time, and I thought, I just can't do this. But I've done that with Grandpa before. Tried to watch him and Exploring with CF together. Oh my goodness. I'm not two brained like that. I'm only a single brain, so I can only do one live stream at a time. But I hate missing everybody's stream. Cool. Oh my gosh. Huh. Well, that's interesting, Doodle. Yeah, I have no doubt that you could, Grandpa. You know what, though? One of these times when you run your streams, hopefully I'd be able to join in on it. You could tell some of the stories about when you was a paratrooper. So that's where you're at, Doodle? You live in North Carolina? I never heard of Realm Stun. Yeah, I think those would be fascinating. I'd say so. It gets it gets busy when there's things going on. I know how that is. Might as well be like at a Walmart trying to watch the 4th of July and getting out of the parking lot or something. Forget it. um, I have never got to participate in a window within a window. I've always just got to do the type in on the chat. I don't know how it would be added on. It's catching. Yeah, you're allowed to cry, Terry. Hey, Dylan. Oh, okay. I actually didn't even know that you left, buddy, but I'm glad you got back. But yeah, I got Grandpa started on live streaming. Actually, I don't know. Was it Brian or was it me, Grandpa? Whoa. Whoa, Grandpa, wow. I think I remember me and Brian both had said something about. No, wait a minute. I was trying to talk Brian into live streaming, and he said that he would if you would. And so the both of you kind of agreed. Brian started live streaming, and then you got started on it. Yeah, I tell you what, Terry, once Grandpa started live streaming, he's never looked back. So he's been live streaming for a little over a year now. But yeah, I love live streaming. I had stopped live streaming for a long time because it got hard for me to think of subjects to talk about. And I really didn't, my company had kind of slowed down to just a few coming in, so I had just completely quit. But now that I'm back on it again, I love it. Okay. Well, I did tell you that you needed to give it a shot. Absolutely. I know. I mean, it's bad enough that they said that you can't live stream on your tablet and phone. That's bad enough. But I'm glad that they allow you to on a computer and laptop. And that there is this Streamlab. Believe it or not, tonight it's behaving. My phone has not shut down from being overheated. Boy, you know it must have been bad all the way around for everybody to say that Brian is definitely out. Even I'm glad that he's not coming back. I know. Well, you know, there's so many cool things about the live stream. Like, one, you meet new people. Two, you get a chance to have new subscribers. Three, it helps out your view time tremendously. And four, it's a chance to actually get to interact with really awesome friends. People that you've gotten to know as your regular viewers over time. You get to know them more like on a one-on-one. Honestly, that's where I've met a whole lot of Yenses on my live streams. Well, you are, Terry. You're handsome. In a beautiful way, you're handsome. Well, we say men are beautiful, so we can be fair about that. Oh, Terry, I didn't tell you. I did not tell you, Terry. I didn't even get a chance. But guess what? How can I put this? Dylan doesn't even know. Or no, Dylan does know. Dylan does know. I don't know how to put it, but bad news is this person isn't doing videos no more. Good thing is she's back as a viewer. The other day, when was it, Dylan? It was Thursday. On Thursday. Yes. Well, I was trying to figure out how. Yes. She is now as Southern only. Oh, did she? Awesome. Because I told her that there were some people that was really concerned about her. And so, especially like Carol. And I told her be sure to at least tell Carol. So I'm glad that she got hold of you too. But it was wonderful because like we was trying to finish a story and here comes Southern only. I had a feeling it was her, but when she said, Mark, you're still my favorite president, I just knew. And like everything else was out the window. We was just all piling up on her. It was so great. I don't know that she's going to come in very often though, but it was so very good to see her coming in. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. So hopefully periodically we will see her, and we assured her that even if she doesn't do videos, for her to at least come in and be a viewer. So yeah. I don't know if she's really going to become a regular though. I really don't. I think she's still afraid that she'll be found. I'm not positive, but I think maybe she does. Yeah, well, we all want her back. We miss her so very much, and she's just she's a fun woman. She's beautiful. Yeah, I definitely miss her tips. I miss the videos with her tips. I don't know that there's going to be any more trolls though. I don't think there is. At least we're definitely hoping not. But yeah, it was just so awesome to see her. All right, Terry, you have a good night. Oh, love you. Same to you. So, what do you think of the painting, Dylan? I don't know why I'm adding dots. Ain't nobody gonna see those darn dots. And just something off about this bush. You know, at least add a few dots to it. I am certainly gonna have to watch Bob Ross again and get a refreshing course. Don't want too much yellow in there. Oh, well, good. That's exactly what I was aiming for. That is exactly what I was aiming for. Anyway, I ain't messing with it anymore. Catherine. Catherine. That is so uncalled for. No, you don't get up here. Every time Catherine tears into her, she tries to get up on my lap like, Mommy, help. Catherine's being mean again. Anyway, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a close-up here. I think I like my path the best. Maybe that tree is a little bit too tall. I don't know. I need to just chill. I gotta chill. There is such a thing as adding too much detail. Just chill out, woman. It's done. Hey, yeah, seriously. I tell you, Catherine can't stand the ground bouncy walks on, literally. She's got that dog trained better than I've got her. Is there any chance of Savannah coming in so I can show this off? I am going to actually be taking a photo of it, and I might put it in the thumbnail. I might choose it as the thumbnail, like I done the desert. But this definitely goes up on my display wall. This is not considered a trash. This is going up on my display. Oh, okay. Well, that's alright. Sure don't want to stop her from that. So, as far as it goes for our story, who do you reckon is going to be going tomorrow? Are you going to start the header for the finish, or what? I mean, I know it's all according to who comes into the chat, but do you even know what time that you're going to be running it? I can actually see the chat better here on my tablet than I can up on that screen, so. What time was that? Because I didn't even know when you started it until Julian sent me. I saw notification of Julian asking me where Nancy lived, and that's when I knew that you was live streaming. 12:30, 2:30. Okay. Well, no, I know what you're getting at there, Dylan. So 2:30, and since I don't stream tomorrow, it certainly gives me time for however long you run it, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get Nancy in there. Now, did you say that Mabel is Nancy's sister? But anyway, yeah, I can see the chat a lot better on the tablet than I can on that screen, so that's the reason why I didn't turn the screen toward me and looking at you, because I'm able to read it better here on the tablet. Oh no, that's perfectly okay. See, I wanted to double make sure on that because I think I know how I can get Nancy into it. But of course it's all according to how the story ends up turning. But I think I know how I can get Nancy in there. Well, you think about it, she's got a granddaughter. Which you can have a granddaughter and not have a sister, but she somewhat has a family, so yeah, that's fine. Now, as I was trying to tell you, Louisville, some people, they pronounce it Louisville because that's, like, you look at Lewis, who goes by Louis, but apparently, even though Google got it wrong and whatever you searched at, they actually call it Louisville, which doesn't make sense. You would think that it would be pronounced Louis because the S is silent, definitely, but it's actually pronounced Louisville. So much easier to say Louis. Louisville. Yeah. I agree, Dylan, it is. But, that's like, as it happens, hubby watches this program on YouTube called It's a Southern Thing. And, like, the person that hosts it is actually here in Texas. And they have done segments of pronouncing different the cities in different states. It was fun and funny how some of the names were pronounced here in Texas. A lot of people pronounces Racco, but they got to realize that Racco is spelled CK, and this is just C. So it's Racco, and it's crazy, like, hubby can be on the phone with somebody and he has to give where we're at and they'll repeat it and say, Racco, Texas? So, but, yeah, when they done pronunciations of the cities in Kentucky, Louisville was one of them. Now, see, I called it Louisville. And they were saying Louisville, and finally they said Louisville, and that was correct, Louisville. But I called it Louisville because I've always said Louis. So, but Kentuckians know. And a lot of Kentuckians are lazy in their pronunciations anyway, so I don't know how in the world, as lazy and laid back as they are with their pronunciations, I don't know how in the world they come up with plural. Because you actually have to work to say it, whereas it's easier to just say Louis. So, yeah, it's crazy. Yes. I don't know how people can get Racco. Honestly, Racco's with a K. But that's people. It is kind of crazy, though, how different names are pronounced. How cities are pronounced. Yeah. Now, I could see like where Terry lives, which is in Pasadena, here in Texas. There's a Pasadena, Texas. And they call it Stinkadena because it's got all kinds of refineries. So you drive through and it kind of stinks, which personally I never smelled it, but everybody else smells it. So, that's one thing, but accidentally calling something something is something else. Is there enough somethings in there? Yeah, I know. That's the reason why when anybody talks about Pasadena, they need to simplify. Is it in California or is it in Texas? The ones that Jan and Dean sung was in California. They sung about the little old lady of Pasadena that was in California, not in Texas. Well, that's like, there's a Charleston, West Virginia, but there's also a Charleston, North Carolina. It's something how that is. So there's some places that, like, okay, no, it's in such and such a state, not in such and such a state. I think I did know that, yes. It seems familiar. I'm pretty sure that I heard of that. Either that or I'm thinking of Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, I might be thinking of Atlanta, Georgia. Where else is there in Athens? I know Athens, Ohio. There's an Athens, Ohio. I knew I'd heard of Athens. There's an Athens, Ohio. Now the real question is, like, you had mentioned so and so and so and so in the story, but well, actually, I tell you what, it is so hard for me to get into character with Karen. Nancy, it won't be no problem. I know that character inside out. Won't be a problem me putting Nancy in there somehow, but I just don't think I could ever throw a Karen in there. I think I'll let Levi keep Karen. I can't do anything with that woman. I'll let Levi keep putting her out there. He's better at it. Got her hands full with Nancy the way it is. Yeah, for real. I couldn't get into her. I just couldn't. I tried so hard. I couldn't. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that comes out tomorrow. Which direction is it going to go? There's a couple times I thought that the story was going to be completely over. I wonder how Julian would have ended up throwing the storylines in there with the way he was doing. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Levi has got to come in soon so he can tell another Karen. Yeah. But yeah, I do. I wonder how Julian would have been able to take off with the storyline after yours. You was really throwing me off. I would have a great big plan and you'd keep going on and I'd go, okay, new plan. All right, yep, another plan. You really had some ideas. Your mind was just a rolling there. Like you knew where you wanted that story to go, and I kept thinking, like, okay, let's take another turn here. Dylan, finish that one. What now? I see. You know, one thing that threw me off the most was you going on to say that Jonathan went on to go to Kyra's house, and I was thinking, before you even got to that point, I was thinking, okay, so Jonathan races over to Kyra's dad and asks if he could give him a lift to Kyra so that he could talk to her. But instead you had Jonathan driving to Kyra's house so Jonathan couldn't catch the helicopter and go. I thought, okay, so en route, because he's worried about Kyra, he's going to get in a car accident. And you said, and Jonathan gets there, and I'm thinking, okay, great, now what? I had two different ways to go. You kept. I thought, oh my gosh, Dylan, thanks so much. I thought to myself, I'm going to get that car accident in there somehow. But darn it, he didn't get to take a helicopter ride. If he took the helicopter, he wouldn't have been in the head-on collision. Oh my goodness. It is going to be interesting to see, though, what turns out. It really is. Kyra is all on her lonesome right now. It's a good thing I'm a storyteller. But there wasn't anything I could do about that lizard. I mean, no matter how hard I thought, there was nothing I could do with that lizard. Why was there a lizard for? Here we go from being in a ghost town to in a cavern, that I was thinking that there was cavemen that was cannibals, and instead it's a lizard that's got a question for these kids. But okay. Hey, Nikki. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. But the greatest one of all was saying, like, you have a question to ask, but you better ask the right one. And I'm thinking, well, what question? Where can I have them go with that? I think Nikki done it the best there. Nikki, when you said the end, that was like the best. Seriously. Julian just had to pull it off and keep it going. I was thinking, no, Nikki's got it on the end. We're at the end. Yeah. That was a great way to get rid of that one. Oh my goodness, that was a story that took too many twists and turns. Seriously. Yep. So like, yep. So Dylan here, he's doing Build a Story, right? And he gets all these character names out with the details of these characters, how tall they are, where they live, what do they look like. I told him, I said, I'll do good to remember every one of those characters. That's why I just like to throw a story out there and let it go where it falls. Dylan's going no tech on us, and I just let it go. But it's still turning out good. Dylan's story's turning out good. And I still don't know half the characters that he mentioned. I'm trying to go with the flow on it. I don't know anybody on there. I tell you what, I mean, I still don't know that much about Dave yet, but Julian's got a real talent. You done really good with that, with the story Thursday, Nikki. You've got a great talent there. I know. I liked your ending too. It killed a story that went wrong. And Julian he managed somehow or another to pull another one out of the hat. Like, daggone it, no, let's kill this thing already. I'm going to have to do another Build a Story though. And now that this painting's done, the trivia, trivia's cool, but I think the Build a Story is pretty interesting. Other than the dead air of waiting for people to put in their part of the story, I think it's interesting to see the direction that the story heads. I know. I don't know why. What was it about the wizard? I mean, seriously, I was thinking of cavemen that were cannibals. That's the, okay, the idea of the skulls and the animal bones, hint, hint, the rusted keys and the newer keys, hint, hint. And there's a wizard. What's a wizard got to do with skulls and keys? But Dylan said the different doors for the keys. So we've got wizards and mysterious doors. It did. See, I was thinking the rusted keys and the newer keys was the victims, and the cavemen didn't find any use for the keys and just threw them in the pile, but Dylan had a better idea. We've got doors to correspond with the keys. I still don't know where the wizard came from. Tell you what though, it was easier to pull it off with the doors and the keys than it was with that wizard. Serious. Because, you could come off with keys and corresponding doors, no problem. But a wizard? Ow! Ah! I see. I see. Okay, the next Build a Story, I'm going to make it plain. No Harry Potter. Period. I know, especially with the question. It made it horrible because I had to think of the darn question. And then like the other thing that was thrown on there. So is there anything that we haven't learned in life yet that we need to know? Like, what? I was thinking about saying, yeah, don't have premarital sex. But instead, I just decided, okay, we'll go with the line of be careful who you choose to spend the rest of your life with. That, gee, boy. Joy came in at the right time. She really did. Nikki kept trying to end that story, and everybody else keeps trying to pull it on, and Joy showed up at the right time. That was the perfect distraction to the ending of a story. Okay, Dylan. A wizard's cannibal there. Yeah. Like I said, I was thinking when I said that they was like in a desert area in a ghost town, I was thinking that they was going to hole up in an old hotel or sheriff's office or something. Just an old restaurant type building. It never did lean to that. Never did lean to that. Didn't even get to it. At least they found water. That was a good thing. They found water. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had no clue like where in the world was that cave coming from. Where was that cave coming from? it was that story really became tripped up. It was really whacked. Trying to add a little bit of shape to this bush. I don't want it to be a little round muffin top. Just don't know how to leave good enough alone sometimes. Just don't. It really did get confusing there with the cave. And I thought, okay, well, since they're in the cave, there could be some people who lived in the cave, but just didn't take the turn that I was hoping. I don't know. Everybody had their own idea about it, I guess. Thank you. Yeah, that. I didn't know what you all was talking about when you said that it showed up on the screen, but then I saw it here on the tablet. I thought, oh, okay, well, that is neat. I don't know. It almost seems like something's missing on it. I know I don't need to do anything else with the house or the path, but something is off about it. Maybe too much detail. I don't know. Possibly too much detail in this tree. It might be this tree. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it though. I'm gonna put it up on my wall, my display wall. Seriously. Now see, that's one thing that's not showing up. It doesn't show it up here. It doesn't show it on the screen. And it's not showing anything over here on the tablet, but just one like. 16 likes. That's the most likes I've had. And before that, the most I'd ever gotten was 12, so 16 is awesome. I kind of wonder how many I've got on the replay. That's going to be interesting. Or how many hours. It's always good to see those numbers. Always. Okay. Oh yeah, sure enough. And it also shows that there's 3 watching. Which it's my guess that Grandpa's still on here. You're still on here, Grandpa? I don't know who and all's on here. That's pretty good. So you doing okay today, Nikki? It's good to see you, girl. Yeah, he's also been a silent viewer before, so I don't know. Maybe he left, it's possible. So there's not going to be any live stream tomorrow. I know, she's a sweetheart. I'd say he's got his hands full with her though. She's got so much energy. I'm going to have to put some videos out tomorrow. I haven't put any videos out in 2 days. I'm going to have to do that. I'm wanting to do a movie review with Big Mouth. But I'm going to have to think of what else to do a video on. Guess I'll just have to ask the Holy Spirit. He's the one that always gives me the ideas, so trust in Him. I know. It is sad how some people treats their babies. It's really sad. Ah, thought so. Took a while for you to say howdy again, but anyway, yeah. But like in your case, Grandpa, and in mine and hubby's, when you don't have children to take care of and all you've got your fur babies, that's when you can put the best out for them. It can get a little difficult to take care of animals, but when you really love them, you do what you can with them. Bouncy here, she's got this big problem of chewing on things, literally. And we get her chew sticks. So I invested in her some rawhide squares so that she'd be chewing for a good while. Paid off. I don't even know if she finished her one rawhide that she got today. Took her a good 2-3 hours to even gnaw on it. And give her something to chew on so that she stops destroying stuff. And the crazy thing is, this dog's almost 4 years old, so she doesn't have any reason to be chewing on anything. Well, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, she gives you a whole lot of love and she appreciates you so much, Grandpa. You've given that dog a lot of hope and life. And I know that she's given it back to you. And the one thing that is said that a pet owner adds extra life, extra years to their life because it helps reduce stress. Can you make tell of that? I am going to be taking a photo of it and putting it on the thumbnail. I wanted to make sure to scale it real good because Mitchell said I needed to make the mountain taller. So I thought I would just scale things. That way you could tell the mountain was further back and real big. And then like you've got your things that's right on you. And you've got the path lean back in there and everything. So yeah, this is a full-size log cabin. Here it's a full-size house. It's a log cabin though. It's kind of crazy, like there's no real forest in this field. But if I was to try to add a forest, it'd screw it up. But now here along the base of the mountain, this is a forest right here. This is all forest along the base. Yeah. Some animals are able to do that too, Grandpa. They really can. Yeah, it is, Nikki. It's going up on the display wall. I'm not putting that in the discard. Wow. Yeah, she's still young, but yet she's aging. 5 is a pretty good year for dogs. They're not too young, but they're not too old. You're okay, baby girl. You're okay. Mama was wanting to love on you. Yeah, you're my girl. You're my girl. Yes, you are. Mama loves her bouncy baby. I love my bouncy. Yeah, she does. She looks extremely healthy. I love her shiny coat. She's got such a beautiful coat on her. Here, Bouncy. Get up here. There you go. There you go. They want to see you. Turn around. There we go. Look here. There you go. See? See? Look, Bouncy. Bouncy. Here's my baby. Let's show you Miss Catherine, but she can't stand it when I pick her up. She's not your typical cat. I know. I love these ears. She's also got like her bottom mouth is like, she's almost got like a bottom bite. You know, those that's got the jutted jaw. Anyway, her bottom lip puckers out further than her upper lip. And they said that her teeth is out of line, and sure enough, her teeth aren't perfect. Like, they're straight, but her canines aren't lined up right. They're they're in different spots. I sure do love my Bouncy girl. I've had to do some correcting on her though. She likes to bite when I go to leash her. And the thing is, she doesn't give a little love bite. She bites hard. She almost breaks the skin. There's been a couple times that my hand felt numb after her biting, so I'm having to correct her on that. No, you can't have Mama's brushes. No. Other than that, she's a good dog, and she learns quick. So it makes it easy to train her. She does. Oh my goodness, this dog runs fast. she's got tons of energy. That's the reason why I thought that she had Jack Russell in her. But her DNA showed that she's got Chihuahua. She's more Chihuahua than anything else. There was no Jack Russell listed except in like the Terrier breed, which was only 12.5. It's crazy. Like, why doesn't she have Russell in her? Huh. I think it's they hit a certain nerve in the hand. You know, just enough pressure to hit that nerve in the hand. You know, but the thing is, Bouncy bites hard enough that she leaves imprints. And I don't understand why. I mean, she loves us very much. She's not being vicious. But for some reason, she'll go grabbing at our hands, and then she'll really seriously give a bite. Oh, yeah, 'cause usually when you say that you'll be right back, and by the time you check, I'm still gone. I'm already gone. So yeah, we was talking about Bouncy and Luna. Huh. Is it a full bred dog or a mix or anything? Oh, cool. I bet that's going to be a very gorgeous dog as an adult. How is it around Reagan? 'Cause honestly, the most important thing is any animal that you get hold of, if you've got a baby, they've got to get along. That's very important. And but seeing that it's got golden retriever in it, I would say that it would be very good with Reagan. Wow. Wow. You're gorgeous. You know that, Catherine. Yeah. But not when you're mean to Bouncy. You're not very gorgeous when you're mean to Bouncy. I love you, Catherine. I do. I love you. I do. Yeah. You love Mama? All right. Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely understand that. For sure. And Reagan's just learning how to walk real good now, right? I hear you, Catherine. I do. I hear you. Yeah, and so does everybody else. Are you saying hi? Are you? You're saying hi? Crawling in steps. Some dogs are able to literally take it, and then others, they will let a child regret. Oh, well, that's good. You want people to see you? Huh? Yeah. She's not interested now. What she's actually saying is, Mom, I want my bowl. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. There's no rule that says a child's got to learn everything all in 1 month. I'd say I developed slowly too. I'm a slow person by nature. Ain't nothing wrong with me, I'm just a slow person by nature. And Nikki was saying that her dog doesn't give hard bites, that but the bites are just good enough that it makes her hand go numb. Whereas Bouncy, she leaves hard enough bites that she leaves indents. And Bouncy isn't even teething. So I don't know what's up with that. I have no clue what's up with the dog. But there is no reason whatsoever for her to bite. And I can understand when puppies bite because they teeth. I just don't understand Bouncy. She's an odd dog by nature, though. I mean, seriously, she is an odd dog. All right, Nikki. You have a good night. Give Reagan the kiss on the forehead. Oh, Bouncy baby. Mama don't want you up here now. You're good. Catherine, stop. The one thing about Bouncy, she doesn't judge her jumps, and she's always cracking her skull on something. You know what? This bush reminds me of something. You hold on right there. I'll tell you what reminds me of. Hush it, Catherine, hush. Yep. Sure enough. The little bushes back here, they've got purple flowers, but what I done, these are green with light purple, whereas these are dark purple with light purple, and that's the difference. But you can't see that. But sure enough, so that's where I remember that. The burning bush. I wonder if I would have just not done the tree or the bushes, just the house and the path with the itty bitty little pine tree. If that would have been okay. Still would have looked plain. I've always got problems with my work. We're always our worst critic. How do you feel about your work, Dylan? Do you criticize your own work, or do you think it's just fine? I am so horrible about criticizing myself, seriously. I'm so bad about that. Isn't that crazy though? 'Cause like people says that my paintings are good and everything, and then we all like your cars, but we see things about our work that we want to make better, or we think should be better, and people don't see that. Yeah, we see things that we could improve. But if you're anything like me, you try to improve what you see and you end up making it worse. I'm absolutely loving my log cabin. I love my log cabin. I love the trees at the base of the mountain. The shadow is just right on those trees. The lighting is right on them. The mountain itself is fine. And then I look at this darn tree, and I don't know. I'm just Oh my gosh. I wish I wasn't critical on myself, honestly. But then if I appreciated my work, I'd be a narcissist. Oh, and I like my path real good. That's all I see that I really like about this painting. The path, the house, the mountain, the trees at the base of the mountain, and then the bush and the tree, and it just, I could have done without that. I am so going to watch Bob Ross again. Absolutely, I'm going to be watching him again. Relearn some of the techniques and go at it again. Oh, really? Now see, I don't see a waterfall, but well, like maybe up here where the line is, it kind of trickles down and like in there. Ah, I never considered that, but yeah, in a way. And as big as that mountain is, that waterfall wouldn't be very big from a distance, but up close it'd be pretty big. But unfortunately, there is no pool of water anywhere, so I guess the forest is sucking it all up. Either that or the pool of water is behind the thick of the forest. Oh, I see. All right, Grandpa, I love you. You have a good night. Huh. Ah, okay. Yeah, I see what you're talking about there. Yeah. I really never did see that, but yeah. I wonder if others would see that. Now this has turned out to be a pretty good stream, and I'm glad that people was able to watch. I'm going to go on ahead and shut it out. I'm going to shut it off, Dylan, but I look forward to, hopefully I'll be able to catch the stream at the start tomorrow and get that story finished. It'll be interesting to see which way it goes. Anyway, I love you, brother. You have a good night. Anybody else that's on the stream, you all have a good night. I love every one of you. Mwah.